Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I hope my audio is working. I'm just going to do a couple checks here to make sure it's working, and then we'll keep at it. Give me one sec. I have a lot to go over today. So, those that are here, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I will be, or Yan, one of the two, on our official socials. We'll be releasing like basically everything that we're talking about today in a document that we've been preparing for everyone. So I hope that that gets into the hands of a lot of people, and then we'll do our job, of course, of making sure that we flood our socials, and we have a couple of things prepared as far as PR goes, and some more brand awareness that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. So again, just give me a shout in the chat. I'll give a message here just to make sure it's working. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm not going to wait too much. I know that I only announced this stream yesterday. This has been a busy week for those that celebrate holidays and or entertainment holidays, May the 4th and Cinco de Mayo yesterday. So I know a lot of people probably have some plans with their family because it's a Friday. So um, I'm going to dive right into this. Again, we'll post these, we'll repost them on the official accounts. And what I'm trying to do as far as doing these AMAs, I want to do them as frequent as needed. We started off doing them basically every single day. We got a lot of really good response doing that, but eventually, it weaned off, and that's to be expected. A lot of people are not going to hop on every single day. I'm not expecting everyone to. And of course, I can't do that every single day. I was able to dedicate like a week or two of doing that. And then that's when we started doing it weekly and progressed to the point of, if we need AMAs, just give me a shout. I'll hop on. I'm happy to talk about what we're doing. A lot of the time when we're working, we're working. that's really the answer. We can't do everything at once. And what I mean by that is Yan is very much involved, myself, Barry, most of the people that you guys are familiar with when it comes to PAC protocol and development. Uh, we're working every single day to try and reach the goals that we set internally. We have our own internal roadmaps that we set just for organization purposes. I mean, we are a private company, but at the end of the day, we do look forward to finally being able to talk about the things that we're building with the public. And there's two reasons for that. The first reason, and it's just our own personal feelings about PAC and who we are, is that we feel that we're very innovative. A lot of the solutions that we're attempting to bring to light in a big way are just not being done yet. And so as PAC protocol progresses, the network grows. Us as a company, PAC Global, we never did one of those large let's do an ICO, crazy funding rounds, blah blah blah. We've internally funded everything. So what I'm getting to here, it's pretty common sense, from my point of view. But that's one of the main reasons why we don't talk about a lot of the things that we're building publicly, because we don't want someone else that may have more resources to beat us to the punch. Because there's a lot of different ideas within blockchain that just they're ideas, and there's a lot of solutions too, but they have to be presented to the right atmospheres, the right people, the right industries. And that's something that we're pretty happy about with what we've built on the business side of PAC protocol. I'm sorry, PAC Global. But as far as the network goes, that has far surpassed the rate of growth that I first originally expected. And I don't see that stopping, because there's a couple of things that we're going to talk about today that are really exciting. Just, for those that have been following PAC for a long time, it is really cool to see where we've come from to where we're going to be within this year and within this quarter with our mainnet launch. So, uh, you know, for me personally, thinking about the journey of PAC, being introduced, way back when it was first, the PAC coin chain, when it was proof of stake, that was really the only utility other than, whatever else gets picked up. That's the same with a lot of cryptocurrencies and blockchains, is that at their base, they do a lot of the same things that certain cryptocurrencies do, like maybe Bitcoin or anything that it's derived from, right? Uh, but the community can really bring, not just the community, like there's always two communities within the same community, if that makes sense. You have the community of like individuals and the regular day people that find the value of using blockchain technology over what is current. And then there's the corporate community, so like once you get that corporate community included within the individual community, everything starts going super fast. What I mean by that is look at the advancements of Dogecoin and what it came from and what it still is and what are its capabilities. yet it still has one of the strongest, if not strongest, community that I've ever witnessed when it comes to technology. And that's kind of what we're going for when it comes to PAC protocol. Is we're not trying to replace or replicate things like that. We're non-competitive. We're always trying to make this space better as much as we can touch. Because our outreach isn't everywhere. We can't touch everything. But what we've been able to accomplish from day one of PAC being POS and moving to POW and then moving back to POS with a different algorithm in place, now going to be launching NFT support and a token layer. I mean, there's not a lot of chains out there that can actually talk about being NFT supportive. Yes, you can mint your NFTs, and then also, yeah, you'll also be able to mint your own token, whatever your supply is, whatever, just like people make their own projects on Ethereum and they mint their token there. The same capabilities are going to be here with a little twist, because we want to make things as clean as possible for PAC protocol users and just make everything user friendly, super easy to explain to someone that maybe has no idea about blockchain. And those goals right there, they take the most time out of anything. Like, it just does. And the reason for that is understanding how users interact with a product versus understanding how people react to something new. It's just different. You can't always just completely base it off of what is current and what is used a lot and then just say, oh, I'm going to copy that and we're going to do just fine. It just doesn't work that way because we're working with new technology as well. So, those are the two main reasons why we don't like talking about the things is, don't want to let someone get to the punch because we feel we're very innovative. And I guess the second one I elaborated maybe a little too much, but the second one is just us to be organized. We don't have all the time in the day to be coding and writing documentation and fielding questions. Even though we are pretty much available all the time, it's hard for us to give an exact answer for an exact thing at a specific time because we need to do that in a professional manner. Otherwise, someone might say, which has happened in the past, I'm not above agreeing, that has happened in the past, where someone might say something that's just not quite correct because it probably should have just been announced in a systematic, every social, professional way. And that can cause confusion, that can cause users believing something even though they might have just understood it the wrong way, and then it could cause some friction. So we want to try and avoid those things. And so when we talk about major updates like I'm gonna do today, it takes time for us to get there and feel comfortable as individuals and as a company, and so that we're not confusing any users as well. So without any further ado, what I would like to talk about is everyone's aware first quarter of 2022 is over. Quarters, just think 12 months, divide that by quarters. So you figure that out very quickly. At the end of March was the end of quarter one. What we did in quarter one, we launched the token system into testnet, which a lot of you are aware of. A lot of community members applied to be a part of it. A lot of them were given access to it. And this was actually very advantageous to us. And I really want to just plainly talk about why it's so important that we don't just code it and then release it. This is why people might be upset of maybe why testnet's taking so long, or maybe why something's in beta for so long. But my example right here is going to explain everything. This testnet that we ran with the token system has actually advanced how fast that we were going to release the ability for the community or users to mint their own fungible token. It was always part of the plan. For our original plan was we were going to launch the NFT support. You can mint your own NFT, and the only first official fungible token other than PAC that was going to be supported by this network was going to be Yan token. And the reason for that was obviously for the yanDNA, the product for IPFS storage, where you would deposit Yan for any storage plan that you see fit. And this is going to come in the yanDNA update. You'll see the storage plans I'm talking about. And that was the purpose of it. Bring a utility token to this network and see how it operates on its own. We originally were not going to the word is not let, but we weren't originally going to implement the ability for any other fungible tokens to be minted on the PAC protocol network at day one of mainnet. And the reason why was we just didn't want Yan to be overshadowed, like the Yan token, that to be overshadowed the utility that was built in. And then also, we couldn't figure out a very, I guess, fluid way of doing it, user-friendly method of doing it. It just wasn't working how we were expecting it to at the time. So we were going to go forward with, okay, we're going to launch the NFT supportive chain along with Yan token, fungible token that can be utilized within yanDNA and whatever else. It is a fungible token, so users can use it how they want. But because of all the community members reporting things, finding different small bugs that we didn't even recognize as bugs, and then realizing that those actually came to a solution for our current situation with the whole Yan token and whether or not we want other fungible tokens on the network. So that's going to be part of this update on launch. With PAC protocol, all the nodes, updating, et cetera, you're going to have NFT support, meaning you can mint your own NFT. You could submit, the metadata that's supposed to go along with it. And then also, if you desire to create your own token or your own project and you want to build it on top of the PAC protocol network for whatever your reasons may be, maybe it's the low transaction fees or the speed or just the opportunity to be part of a chain that has a lot less traffic than others, the gas fees that other chains are unfortunately having to deal with just because of how much they're used. That's going to be part of PAC protocol on this mainnet launch. The ability to create your own token and the ability to mint your own NFTs with the metadata that you put inside of it as well. So those are really exciting things for me personally, like just thinking about where PAC came from to what this chain is capable of doing now. It's just cool. The technology does grow. We always innovate. We're always trying to advance things. And I know a lot of people just look at the markets and maybe that's all that they view as growth. But in reality, if you really look at where PAC has come from to where we're going to be in this quarter, within the quarter we're in right now, quarter two, with the launch of the mainnet blockchain of Yan token, the official fungible token, the ability for any user to mint their own fungible token or non-fungible token, aka NFT. It's just really it's really mind blowing to me, just to be honest, like how far everything's come. The ability to mint an NFT that'll have its own, transaction fee, the amount of data, etc. The one thing I do want to just note on, because it's unique, I believe, for us, and it's just the decision that we came to in our development group when it comes to creating your own fungible token, like your own supply. So, for example, let's say you wanted to create a token that has the exact same supply as Bitcoin when Bitcoin's done mining. So what is that? It's 21 million, right? So if you wanted to have a token for 21 million, you would need 21 million PAC to create that token. There was two systematic reasons why we believe that this makes sense. First, one and two. One, we don't want to have so much spam of like just a bunch of different random tokens and projects popping up on the network, and then could definitely cause some issues, especially that PAC already currently isn't like a crazy transacted blockchain. So you got to think about that. You don't want to go from steady growth to just bam, like you have all these different projects showing up, and now you have to account for all the different traffic that they're bringing. But then another one that makes a lot of sense to us in the business development side of it is that you need to have skin in the game. So, if you're going to be using the PAC protocol network, who are the people that are supporting the network? I mean, it's not a company. The only reason this network exists to the scale it does is because the individual masternode owners supporting the network with masternodes, which you need PAC to do so. None of these other tokens that could be minted can be converted into a masternode and then you're staking the entire chain's history. Like it doesn't happen with the tokens. So we felt it didn't really make sense and or is kind of unfair for those that run a masternode and or contributing a lot to making sure that the PAC protocol network is thriving. Yet you allow a token to be created for super cheap, small transactions with a very minimal amount of PAC. And then that's the project that, starts getting utilized more and more and more. And those that were supporting PAC the entire time don't really benefit from that unless they decide to be part of that. So in our opinion, how do people that are part of PAC benefit? Well, someone wants to make a token, and by all means, if they make a token and a project and it goes, absolutely bananas and everything's fantastic and the utility they support with it is great and they get a lot of people, that's great all around. Two things to think of and to know as facts when it comes to the token layer is, again, one, you need that 1-to-1 ratio. And then two, when you're transacting, PAC is the gas fee. PAC is the transaction fee still. Like just like when you send PAC, you need a little small amount of PAC to send it. And that transaction fee gets burned into the network. It doesn't go to miners. It doesn't go to Masternode owners. It just gets gone. It's gone. Same thing will happen in the token within the token ecosystem. So if you create that token for 21 million, you will need 21 million PAC, and that PAC will essentially be burned. It gets converted into this new token. So, I mean, think about what that does to the supply of PAC. It also deletes that amount from the supply of PAC. And now you have this other token that may well bring a great utility. There's a lot of ways that tokens can be used, and you can see that now with all the different projects. So a lot of this is just, we want to give the ability to do all the things that blockchain the industry has turned into, and we're trying to rebuild that into PAC to where it's one ecosystem. And, you don't have to go to like a million different places to do the same thing. You can just stay in the same area. So I mean, not just that, but on the business development side of it, being able to present this to people and say, hey, you could have your own token for whatever means, if it's a reward system, if it's for a small business or a large business. There's a lot of ways that a fungible token can be used on a network, especially when the supply is going to be controlled by the person minting it. And that's really the main reason of why we wanted to do that 1-to-1, because if you're going to go through all that trouble of minting your own token, having your own supply, creating your own utility, I really believe that you must have skin in the game, especially for the chain that is providing the service, PAC protocol. So that's exciting from my point of view about the Yan token and the official fungible token launch, and also NFT support. That's all within Q2. So again, end of March was the end of Q1. So we've been through April. We're now in May. The last month of Q2 is June. So we are not saying that it's going to be exactly at the end of June. It could very well, and actually it's expected, but knock on wood, but it is expected that it's going to be a lot sooner than the very end of Q2. So anyways, we'll keep you guys updated with those updates when that comes for that specific, mainnet feature. But this has a lot to do with everything else, and why this takes time is it's not just a mainnet launch and a simple QT wallet creation. I mean, a lot of people here probably that were in the beginning days of creating a Masternode and, et cetera, getting involved in the network, what a QT wallet is. They're very, simple. It gets the job done, but it's not user friendly. You still have a lot of just things that you got to learn if you had nothing to do with crypto before you downloaded a QT wallet. So we're always stoked about yanSAFE. yanSAFE is one of those iconic products that we've released that's always going to stick around, as for us as a company. Just the super clean, clear UI, user-friendly ability to do a lot of things. It's not just built for Masternode owners. Of course, it is super easy to use it. A couple clicks, you got a Masternode up and running and healthy. But then also it's super user-friendly for just sending and receiving coins. And there's a lot of features that we have planned for that in the future. But I just want to talk about Q2 of what's going to be accomplished here and now. So Q2 yanSAFE 2.20 release, or quote unquote 3.0, because we've had a couple releases before. The Masternode Healthcheck. So you'll be able to verify that your Masternode is actually online and healthy in real time. And to just quickly note on this, of course, this release is going to come during the exact, I shouldn't say exact, but it'll come when the mainnet release is done, because a lot of people utilize this wallet. So we've had to spend some time making sure that the yanSAFE UI is, obviously up to par with what is needed within this mainnet launch. We need to add the NFT token system support, the UI for it, the user-friendly UI, not just the simple nonsense, the ability to mint a token, the UI to do that. And there's different methods that have been added into this to make it user friendly. So for example, when you're minting a token, there would be an advanced mode or an expert mode. Two different options depending on what you're using it for. You might need to input more data based off of what you're using it for. So just keeping that easy, and a couple fields that you may have to fill out, but that's on your own accord. And then also minting an NFT. We've talked about this before, but again, this is quarter 2, and this is actually coming to fruition now. So we can all expect these things. Minting an NFT, 3 methods. The simple mode, which is there's just the minimum inputs required, minimum fields to fill in. The advanced mode is all inputs, and then there's the expert mode, which is specifically for developers or experienced users. So we try to include every single one because not everyone just wants a product where it's just simple and you can't really dig into it. Some people might really want to add as much info as they possibly can into minting their NFT. So that's part of yanSAFE. That'll also be part of quarter 2. It'll be using IPF hash from the Yan network, aka what is powering yanDNA, per API. So when you're minting an NFT, the metadata and information will be API tethered over to our IPFS network for retrieval, along with also obviously being on the chain. Let's see here. Yep. So there's a lot of details in the NFT token page. Those that are part of the testnet, you've probably already seen that. It's going to grow in before mainnet, such as group by collections, group by own group, search, filter, NFT view size, foreign search, search foreign token, which is not yours. So for example, you want to just look something up that's on the chain, but it's not actually yours and it's public, that'll be available. Transaction history, excuse my speech. It shows token transactions too. So that way you're not just seeing PAC or NFTs, but the tokens as well. And these are all settings that are, under your control. You can disable them, you can turn them on. It's just up to you. These are just all the things that are going to be included. Multi-wallet functionality. So basically the ability to create a new wallet within the same yanSAFE or to import an existing wallet. And that way you can view the wallet list with their current balances, transaction amounts, and token amounts. So this is more for advanced, I guess, situations where you might have multiple people in the same household that want to have their own wallet and their own passcode and their own, all that stuff, or maybe for a corporate solution. We actually were presented this and asked this to be kind of a feature for some of the business things that we're moving forward towards. So that was another main reason why this was added. And Masternode Healthcheck website. So that's going to be tying into the Masternode Healthcheck that yanSAFE has. This is your way that you can just go to the website, create your own personal list of masternodes to view their status, to check if the masternode is running fine, and if not, it'll give you basically like a quick troubleshoot of what might be the problem and how you could fix it. Of course, you'll be able to view when your next payment is for the masternode, and it works on all devices running per the internet. So these are all things that kind of tether into yanSAFE. I mean, of course, a lot of people are already aware of all the different things that are being involved when it comes to the testnet. So if you are interacting with that, you probably know a lot of the things I just said, but I'm just mentioning there will be some fine tuning before the launch, which is within this quarter. Let's see here, moving to the next one, yanDNA. So yanDNA is one of those hot topics that comes up ever so often, wondering when are we going to be out of beta? It's just kind of tying everything together. Obviously, yanDNA relies on the ability of, well, a couple things. First and foremost, the IPFS network, and then 2, obviously, the implementation of the Yan token. The ability of Yan, using Yan as collateral, non-custodial, similar to as a Masternode collateral. You can remove it whenever you want. But that ability is the number one, beneficial method of securing or reserving storage within yanDNA when this gets released. It's a major update because the reason why Yan's the most beneficial is there's also going to be the ability to reserve your storage using PAC or USD via Stripe. Stripe is the one that we are looking to implement so that if you want to use your credit card to secure a certain amount of data storage, you could do that. And it's not, the credit card aspect is not purchasing crypto. It's a data storage plan. If it says, for example, 5G, 10G, 20G, how much storage you need. Well, here's the price in USD. Here's what you can reserve it with PAC, and here's what you can reserve it with Yan. The most beneficial method is going to be Yan when it comes to yanDNA, And the reason for that is because yan can be used as collateral. Everything else is not considered collateral. It's considered like it's a you traded either USD or your PAC for data storage. That's how that would be viewed. With yan, it's collateral. So why is that such a benefit? Well, with yan, if it's let's just say a 5 GB plan, and for argument's sake, this is not what it's going to be, but just to keep it simple, for argument's sake, let's just say it says that 5 GB is it takes you 200 yen, right? Let's just use that as an example. And the price of yan, based off of the markets and different things that have happened because of market activity, the price of yan goes up. And the yan that you have in collateral, it's collateral, so it's now valued more as well. You never spent, and no one has it. You still have access to it. You can withdraw it whenever you want, but now it's worth more. There will be APIs within yanDNA to keep up with any price, movement. Obviously, not like real time. That's too much stress on the servers, but it'll be updated probably daily or weekly. And what that would do is give you the ability to, based off of what yan was doing on market, you could either choose to reserve more storage now because you now have more valuable yan, or in the event that yan goes in the negative, based off of market activity, it doesn't ever go against you. Once you reserve something and it's in collateral, it's not going to go on the negative side. It can go positive, but it's not going to be automatic. It doesn't automatically just shoot your data up. You have to like physically tell the software, yanDNA, you have to tell it that you want to relock it, you want to re-reserve it. There will be a time period to do those things. Those time periods are just for that event right there. Like that event of being able to, if I have more storage available to me, the time period is to allow you like that. Wow, I'm like butchering this. The time period is to allow you enough time to realize, okay, the changes of price of what has happened, how much gigabytes can you now acquire extra with yan, but also vice versa. If you don't even want it, like maybe you don't care, like you don't need more. It gives you that ability to withdraw what you need and then keep what you want in there to keep your current normal regular storage. Because other than that, if you never withdraw it, it's never going to go negative of what you originally bought. So in the original example, 5 GB for 200 yan, it'll never go under 5. It can go up if the price of if the price of yan were to increase, then your available storage would obviously increase because of correlation of the original price that was set in for the product. So those are cool things that are like part of that. And I don't think a lot of people are aware that we are going to be adding, the credit card ability and the ability to use PAC as well. There's just not as all the benefits that yan offers, because you're never spending yan. You're never giving control of that yan to anyone. You can always withdraw it. In the event that you want to withdraw the yan that you have in there, it will give you the notice, the pop-up, hey, if you don't have this yan in here, you don't have anything for the data storage that you're wanting to reserve and use. Which files do you want to delete? And if it's all of them, then it's all of them. And if you don't really care, then it'll just garbage collect it for you and they'll all be gone because you're not collateralizing anything anymore and you're not paying for the storage. That's how that's going to work. So I know I butchered that. Trust me, I know I did. But it'll be a lot easier to know. Like everything that we're building is user friendly. So just think of it this way: when you go to open yanDNA and it says, what storage plan would you like, 5, 10, or 20? And it says, which method would you like to reserve it with, PAC, USD, or yan? Yan will be basically in big gold letters letting you know these are the benefits of using yan, and then the benefits of using PAC or USD. Yan has the most benefits because you can withdraw it. You're never actually spending it. It's just for a collateral, and you have a lot of freedom based off of market maneuvering. Yeah, I should have said that the first time. That was a lot easier. But anyways, within yanDNA, they'll have the NFT implementation as well. That's another reason why beta, why so long? Well, waiting for the NFT part of it to come along as well. With this implementation, there'll be a new page called NFTs to manage storage for NFT related content. NFT sharing, which is per link, to show like your own collection of NFTs with others, like friends or your other contacts that you have. Resumable upload. That's one that we're, pretty. It sounds like so silly, but it's really cool that you can pause and upload and then resume it again after some point. So like in the event that, I'm trying to upload, and this is mainly for like corporate stuff, but also for users. But our mentality is corporate. Is well, for this specifically is like for example, I'm uploading a movie, or a very large file, but I'm not gonna just click upload and wait all day for my computer to do it, because of however fast my internet is, or however big the file is, it could take a long time. yanDNA is really good, but at the end of the day, it still depends on how big the file is. So if I'm on the go, or I'm a business, I don't want to just have one computer just stuck all day downloading something, or uploading something, I should say. You can pause it, take your computer with you, or pause it, come back home, click it again, resume upload, and it'll start back up at where it stops. So that's something that the current yanDNA didn't have, and we're happy to add that. And then share functionality updates, the ability to share a public folder. That was something that came up, and I actually scratched my head thinking, wow, I can't believe we didn't have that in there originally. It wasn't a big deal. It was just something that, again, when we go in testnet mode or beta mode, we get feedback, and sometimes we just don't think of things, even though it sounds so simple. It's just like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. So someone did mention, what about the ability to share an entire file? I mean, an entire folder that's public. Yeah, sounds like a great idea. So that's going to be part of the yanDNA as well. Within, again, this quarter. These are all updates coming this quarter. As a preview, users can see the content inside of the folder through the internet. And then private folder sharing with other yanDNA users. So you'll be able to share a private folder as long as it's another yanDNA user and within your user's friendship list. And then folder download, you're able to download it as a zip file. Again, I know some of this might be technical, but these are all just good things to just know. And again, we will be releasing a document. So like everything that I'm saying here, it'll be, on paper. So you can go back and read it, share it, just make sure that what we're giving out is good education for the products that we have coming out soon. And again, this quarter. Within yanDNA as well, there'll be a dashboard for the analytic chart. Organization accounts, basically, if someone's going to create, we're creating yanDNA to not just be for users, like individuals. Like, I mean, when I say users and individuals, I think of family. I think of the person that has a bunch of phone pictures on their iPhone or their Samsung or any cell phone really, and they're either going to do one of two things, or three things, or two things. One, get a SIM card if you're not a SIM card, but an SD card if your phone supports it. I know a lot of phones took it out in the last couple years, but get another SD card because you need more storage. Or if, like most people, if you have an iPhone or a Google phone, you're going to use one of their services. Oh, I'm going to pay for more storage so I can store, I can take more pictures. I can't put it on my phone, but I'll put it on the iCloud, or I'll put it in Google. Those are two options that a lot of people are just familiar with. And that goes the same when it comes to organizations and corporations. Like, where are they storing their information? Well, they do the same thing. I mean, just in a different level. It's not, there's still those Apple accounts that can store data there. It's just not an iCloud account for a personal phone. And they definitely have it on the Google servers as well. So within yanDNA, we're still like, this isn't something that I guess we have completely sorted out. But like, if you're an organization and you're going to create an account using yanDNA, what other features are more important for an organization, vice versa for the public? And then what other features could we add to the organization account that the public most likely just would never use? It's just extra. It's not needed. So there's that's going to be something that we're going to be messing around with to make sure that we have those options there for businesses and companies and or developers that want to plug in and use it in a specific way. And along with all this stuff, of course, is a public yanDNA API. So that's going to be plugged into a lot of the different, I guess, a lot of different clients and customers and partners that we bring our solutions to for data storage. Because at the end of the day, it's very easy for us now to go, talk to a client or a partner or someone that we've networked with at an event, and just simply ask them, what are your data like storage needs? Because it might sound like a really stupid conversation starter, but in this industry and in the industries that we're a part of, data storage is never going away. If anything, it's becoming more expensive and more needed, which makes it more relevant. Like period, that'll never change. It's just going to keep going up as long as data is being absorbed. So if you start asking people what are their data storage needs and who do they use, they don't have to really give specifics, but you can come down to a public baseline of what is expected, and then also the certain price metrics of what is to be expected and what maybe you could get away with by providing a solution using IPFS. Because at the end of the day, when public yanDNA APIs are released, this means that the public servers can also be released, meaning those that are wanting to help support yanDNA or the Yan network with the amount of data storage available, they can download the file and put it onto their server to provide whatever resources they have available to the public network. So that's something that's always going to be available once that gets released. And that way, organizations will have a couple different options of how they participate when it comes to the Yan network. Are they just going to reserve storage space, or are they also going to contribute by attaching their servers directly to it? And why would they benefit from that? Well, number one is bandwidth. It immediately is going to make their internal transactions of the files or the data that they're putting on their servers immediately accessible and like basically all over the world with a lot less bandwidth. So those are a couple of the things that we've always been focusing on ever since we were introduced to IPFS and been moving forward. When we talk about networking and business development and the things that we've been able to do and the people we've been able to approach, it's just been growing. And so I know it takes time and a lot of things, might seem quiet at times, but if it's quiet, it's because we're working, and it's not just development work. We're also doing the business development. So I guess it's still development, but a different kind, if you get what I'm saying. Another thing in quarter 2, PAC being wrapped. Okay. That's something that we are like, I don't know, a couple, maybe 6 months into when we first talked about it, probably, I think so. And the main reason for that is we want to prioritize the mainnet launch. We don't want to take time away from that to focus on wrapping a token or NFT support, etc., without PAC protocol actually having NFT support and a token layer. We had to get that done first. So the ability for PAC to be wrapped for the BSC network and the ETH network, Binance and Ethereum, that's going to be accomplished. And one thing that we're looking into including into that is that you'll be able to wrap tokens that are on the PAC protocol network, and also you'll be able to wrap NFTs that were minted on the PAC protocol network. So what's the point of that? Well, first and foremost, the token part, same situation as PAC. When we're done with this and PAC is able to be wrapped to basically wPAC would be the name for Binance or Ethereum, then they can be traded on the popular exchanges such as Uniswap and PancakeSwap because liquidity pools will be set up. Those are things that we're preparing to do. And so with PAC being able to be traded on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, because of this wrap bridge, we want to also allow the same opportunity for any tokens that get created on PAC protocol. So of course you got Yan and then any other tokens that get created by the community. The ability for them to be wrapped over and then now tradable on Uniswap and PancakeSwap. But that also goes for NFTs as well. So if you mint an NFT on PAC and you want to mint it and you want to wrap it, then you could list it on OpenSea or list it on another popular NFT exchange or marketplace, if that's the verbiage you prefer, given the fact that you're able to do so, but given the fact that Ethereum is the chain supported or Binance is supported on those chains. So those are things that we're excited about. I just think it gives a lot more freedom, and on the business side of it, it probably opens up a lot more potential users to PAC, being able to onboard through Uniswap and PancakeSwap, because there's just a lot of transaction volume going through those things. And another thing to note when it comes to this bridge is it is a decentralized bridge, so it's not going to be a custodial. So if you want to wrap it, it's on you, and we'll make it as easy as possible. And we'll give more information as well as we go along as well. But again, quarter 2, these are the things that are happening right here now. This is why we're very busy. Website, pacprotocol.com. We will be releasing the design preview. Currently, we have designs being conducted. We just got to basically bicker back and forth and pick the best ones that we think, look good and really speak of who we are as a company. But that's what we're working on right now, is having the designs made, and we'll be releasing the preview of it within this quarter. And then also within this quarter, of course, with everything that I just said, a lot, we will be releasing full documentation about PAC Protocol Core, including fungible token, including the NFT system, including yanDNA API documentation, and that'll be it'll be posted online underneath our website. So again, I did mention at the beginning, we will be releasing a document talking about what I said today, but this documentation is full PAC protocol core, fungible token, NFT system, yanDNA API, yada, 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 all the works, all the things that developers might want to look into, or those that just want to do their own research into what's under the hood. So that's what we have for quarter two. A lot of really, really cool things. Now, quarter three, I have a lot more too I could go through. I'll briefly go through a couple of things just because they correlate and tie it all together. Probably answer a couple of questions I might get. Quarter three, the website preview that is done in quarter two. Quarter three, obviously, you can expect that's when it's going to go live at some point in quarter three. There's a couple business, no, not opportunities anymore, but business ventures that we were thankfully introduced to, and I can't speak about them right now, but it's not a how do I explain this? It's not a opportunity. It's a venture at this point. We're included in it. We're doing a lot of work with it, and it's very exciting for us to be part of something like this. And I can't speak about it now, but quarter three is tentatively like one of those important milestones for us as a company to be a part of it. So we'll keep you updated as that goes along. You'll probably see it, news about that from other sources before us, actually. So that's something to just keep in mind. Quarter three is going to be fun. PAC scan version 2.0. I know Yan's already talked about a PAC scan and the availability of the abilities of it, but PAC scan 2.0 is being scheduled for quarter three. And this would be to be able to, search for NFTs, tokens, et cetera, et cetera. Basically a coin market cap alternative for PAC tokens and NFTs, that we can get as much info as you want, not just the boring transactions. Ledger and Trezor support for PAC, the integration that's keyed for quarter three, and it also could be sooner, just depending on the mainnet launch and, us getting our bearings. We have a lot of work ahead of us. yanSAFE, another update, not really one that we're waiting on, because the update is a governance page, so that what's the word? I'm like drawing a blank on my words today. The proposals that are within the PAC protocol network that Masternode owners can vote on, a yes, no, or abstain. There will be a governance page added so that you can easily see which ones are there to vote on, cast your vote if you choose to. Important to note, if you don't cast a vote, it doesn't get counted as anything. It doesn't get counted as abstain, no, or yes. It just basically says that you didn't participate. So I do greatly encourage everyone to participate in governance voting, even if it is just to abstain. That way, your Masternode is participating, and it does affect the outcome of how these proposals are funded. The proposals that have ever really been part of PAC, those that have been here from the very beginning of the Masternode part of PAC launching, there was a lot of community props back then, a lot, like every single month, at least 3 or 4 after a certain time. Originally there wasn't, but that was because people didn't really know about it. And then the first proposals came along by community developers who weren't even part of the PAC leadership at the time. They just wanted to create a cool product, and they wanted a certain amount of PAC to do it. And so they listed the proposal, and some said yes, some said no. But at the end of the day, that's how it worked, and it worked great. Back then as well, it was just the QT wallet. So the way you had to vote was very annoying, and that's why a lot of people didn't participate as well. And that's still actually the only way that people can participate is by using the same Qt wallet and doing the commands to vote. And so I understand that can be frustrating and annoying, and it might feel like, oh, I can't participate. It's just because within one of our products, yanSAFE, it hasn't been added into it. And the reason for it is because Yan never really needed to focus on that as a page. Main reason, the functionality of the super block hasn't been working as intended for the last at least a year. So there hasn't even been proposals really to vote on. Even within the last 10 months, ourselves, PAC Global Holdings LLC, we haven't listed proposals either. So I actually will be listing a proposal here coming up soon, tentatively on this, being released, this mainnet update. And then again, I encourage you all to participate in the voting. The proposals that I make for the regards of us as an LLC are specifically for us to have access to PAC for testing purposes, for us to help support the network with masternodes that we can 100% claim as safe because we speak for them, and then also additionally to help those that are part of making these products, come to life, have them give them a little skin in the game so that they're not just growing and building things for a network that they're not even able to participate in unless it just kind of makes sense in my opinion. So anyways, that's what I was talking about when it comes to governance. PAC protocol will also be having a live ledger support. So once ledger goes live, you'll have live support within your own wallet software. So that'll be kind of cool. Quarter four is a really big one, mainly because it has a lot to do with PACapp. And some of these things may come alive a lot sooner than later, because we might just ladder these updates and give them, off at one at a time. But the PACapp update is going to be really cool because we're going to be adding multi-asset support. So there's mock-up designs already created. Yan did a great job of them. Just adding the different UI features that are going to be needed for multi-asset. And why is multi-asset needed now? Well, even within PAC protocol's ecosystem, there's going to be tokens that are created, not just Yan, but there could be tokens created by the community as well, right? So that needs to be addressed and put inside PACapp so that you can obviously send and receive Yan within your PACapp. And then also, while we're at it, we figured, well, why not add other assets to this, so that it's essentially our own version of a trust wallet, adding to the like of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. There's a lot of very popular, cryptocurrencies out there that are listed in other wallets, such as, Trust Wallet. And we feel that we're at that point that we can get PACapp into that same kind of discussion because it's non-custodial. Our partners, the ones that we're working with, they're going to need a place to not advertise, but I guess recommend is the right word. They're going to need a proper wallet to recommend them to where are you going to store your PAC? Where are you going to store your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or your NEAR or your Ripple, or XRP, not Ripple. These are the questions that have come up when we're talking with our partners and like, okay, well, if we're having a custodial product, we need to be smart, and we also need to let other people know that they can be smart themselves and educate them to keep cryptocurrency off of platforms, right? Just like people say, don't put them on exchanges, keep them off exchange unless you're using it. So PACapp could be one of those and is going to be one of those that gets advertised as such. That way that people can host their Bitcoin, host their PAC, their Yan, other assets that we'll add. You'll get more information on that as well of the different assets we're adding. You'll see designs as Yan feels comfortable to release them on our development Twitter. It'll also include a couple of things such as Masternode deployment. So it'll work exactly like yanSAFE basically. If you've used yanSAFE and you understand how easy it is to set up a Masternode using it with our Vultr and Hetzner APIs, the PACapp in quarter four will have the same feature. So if you got 500K and some change on your 500K and some change of PAC on your PACapp, and you want to make a Masternode, you'll have the ability to just click a couple buttons and you can do it right there on your phone, because your phone isn't the thing that needs to be connected to the network all the time. It's the server. So now that we have those APIs tethered in there, it'll be added to PACapp, and I do expect that to be another one of those monumental growth periods for the node network. Um, NFT and token support as well. For PAC, and then any other chain that we add into this multi-asset wallet, such as Ethereum, which is very well known for its Ethereum for its tokens and NFTs. You'll be able to store them here as well, and also the ability to mint NFTs and a token within PAC protocol. So there's a lot of stuff being put into our current products. Just a lot more features, a lot more opportunities for PAC, just because of the ability of the token layer and the NFT support. And then another thing that isn't really tied into a lot of these things, because like I said, we have some business development that we're not uh, searching for anymore. We're actually engaging in currently, and we can't really talk about it. But a lot of the things that we're now understanding as a development company within the blockchain industry is smart contracts. With this mainnet launch, there is not smart contracts within PAC protocol, but we've come very well accustomed of using smart contracts with a couple other chains that we're excited to be a part of doing. And this is specifically for some products that we're wanting to push out there. Some people have asked about NFT marketplaces, et cetera, and a lot of those things are 100% on our list. I mean, very much so. But you will need that smart contract layer for security when it comes to that. And so we're working with a couple of partners to bring that to life within PAC, not on the core side, but think partnership and strategic alliance. So that's what we're doing right now. And I appreciate you guys hopping in. I know I did a lot of talking. It's been an hour now. Um, and yeah, I really, let's see here. I'm gonna read some comments just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you, Philly. Thank you, MPC. Thank you, Seaborg. Um, thank you, Notorious. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. EON. Next time, if you have like a comment or so, like maybe not spam it as much, or just like a bunch of things, because no news. I don't really know what else to tell you other than, I mean, we are a development company. So, I mean, the news that you're going to get from us is going to be about development. I mean, we're not a hype group. So, we do put enough, uh, what we can, we put it into brand awareness and bringing in people into the company side. And, that takes time. The company side does not, I won't give information about what kind of deals that we're accomplishing to people that aren't part of the company side of it. There's a lot of things that have to go. People in crypto think everything's about NDAs. Not everything's just about NDAs. A lot of things are about just being organized, and you don't want to overstep and do something and draw like all this unnecessary attention to yourself. And then now you're responding to a lot more people. So, anyways, when we get prepared enough, or not, the answer is actually not even prepared. When we get ready enough to announce the things that we're doing behind the scenes, working business to business. And again, we're a development company, so not everything that we do as a development company is going to be specifically using PAC blockchain. That would literally tie our hands behind our back in what we're allowed to do and how we're allowed to grow as a company. We have to be able to tie in different technologies as well. So there's some other technologies that we've been introduced to within the blockchain industry, some other projects. I just mentioned smart contracts. The only way that we learn or that we know how to operate smart contracts at a secure, safe way, like is needed in instances like OpenSea or any other marketplace, and even those, they have some issues. Like, I'm not above saying that either. Like, they have issues too. There's been hacks, there's been issues, and a lot of that has to do with security within the smart contract. PAC doesn't have smart contracts, so where do we go? I would love to talk about that, but we'll have to wait that for another time. But that's another thing that we've been doing since, I'll tell you the time frame, since December. So since December to now, we've been deep diving into smart contracts, learning as much as we can about them, implementing them. And then additionally, now we have those abilities on the business side to present our data storage products, because some of the well, I'll give you an example. Some of the main things that from the people that we talk to about showing data storage is the file delivery aspect of it. And so if you're delivering a file and it's yours and you own it, and you don't, you're not necessarily giving it to them to just like keep forever. think about when you go to the movies. You go to the movie, right? You watch the movie. You paid for the movie. Did you get to take the movie home with you? No. You have to do that again later, right? Same thing with the movie theater. They're playing the movie, but how long is that movie in the movie theater? It's not because they don't take it out of the movie theater because the movie theater all of a sudden says, "Oh, this movie's not making money anymore. We're just going to throw it away." It gets taken out because there's contracts. When you go to Netflix and you're like The Office, The Office was taken out of Netflix at the end of last year. Why? Contracts. I mean, it happens all the time. So, what can smart contracts do? Contracts, contracts in the same aspect, file delivery, content delivery, whatever it is. Is it going to be a movie? Is it going to be, subscription based content, meaning there's a lot of things. There's Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime. Uh, you can go to Amazon Video right now, and to my knowledge, I don't think this is possible. You can go buy a movie, you can download it, right? You can download it, but you can't. You can only download it within Amazon's app. You can't buy a movie and then download it onto your computer. To my knowledge, I tried doing that like a year ago, just to see if it was possible because someone mentioned it to me, and it's like, yeah, wow, you can buy the movie and download it on the mobile app, but you can't physically, like, I can't download it and put it on a CD. It's just not available. Like, I mean, it's available, but not in the UI, not in the standard way, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about when it comes to smart contracts and file delivery, regardless of what it is: a movie, song, a picture, an NFT, even anything that has a utility tied to it. If you watch something, you might not understand that or agree with it, but you're paying attention to, you're giving it utility. So smart contracts can help manage those things. So, for example, if I give a movie off to the movie theater and I want it to stay in theaters for 2 months, the smart contract is set for 2 months, and after 2 months, it's expired, gone. The content is not retrievable anymore. And why is that? Because who actually owns that file? Well, that's where IPFS comes in, and who actually owns the keys to that file and what's happening to it. So, you know, those are the quick little industries that we're going to be involving ourselves in or attempting to, with the network of individuals that we've been meeting. And, like I said, there's stuff on business development side that doesn't necessarily pertain to PAC. That's why we can't talk about it, and or it just doesn't make sense to, because it would just be like bringing unnecessary hype to the PAC side, even though it's like, oh yeah, but the development they're doing isn't even using PAC protocol. Well, that's fair. It's fine. So that's why we don't do that, because sometimes not all development we do is specifically using PAC protocol chain, but we're always thinking ahead of how we can tie it in with our data storage products, because that's, like I said, never going away. It's always going to be needed. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm going to wrap things up here. I have to get back to doing some other things, but I appreciate it again. And I will see you guys next time. If you have any specific questions and you guys do know how to DM on Discord, please do it there. I get people DMing me on Twitter. I don't check Twitter. Like, I mean, I check it for like little things, but I'm not really on Twitter for DMs and stuff. And so if you're going to reach me on Discord. You can send me an email as well. My email is on the website. Yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. One thing I said I was going to talk about, but I didn't, so I'll just quickly mention it, was our PR and brand awareness. We do have some articles being written and planned to be released on some very well-known sites. You'll know when you see it. And the sites I'm talking about are crypto related. So, I mean, we've done things in Yahoo Business. We've done things, putting our billboard up on New York City and in London, doing red carpet events, sponsoring Sandfest. We probably put about, just to be transparent, like straight up, we probably put around $600,000 last year into just the little things that we did here and there, like the tournament we did with eFuse. Like I said, the red carpet, the different advertisement campaigns, PR, articles that get posted online. Like, all those things are not cheap when you start adding everything up, especially with the the red carpet event, and being on a billboard in New York City and in London, and uh, we went to others too. I'm like blanking. Oh yeah, well, NFT week in Miami, but that was this year. But anyways, my point is that we've actually put quite a bit of capital into doing those things, and it's not sustainable all the time when you're still also trying to build, the products out as well to bring people in. It's one of those like 1-2 punches. You got to do it both at like, you can't throw both punches at the same time, if that makes sense, right? Like who does that? It's always a 1-2 punch. So we try to do it at the best, plan that we feel, fits us and our style. And just don't expect it to slow down. If anything, we'll expect it to keep speeding up. 2022 is one of those years where we're expecting a lot to happen this year. Us as a company, and then hopefully on the PAC protocol side, it keeps happening as well. So again, enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you guys coming here, and look out for the documentation that will be dropping.